Hey guys, Nikki Logan here, Delaney Jackson. We're here to help you with the FAFSA. We're going to go through a couple fast facts, some steps. We're also going to go through the misconceptions and common questions that you may have. If we don't cover that, go ahead and jot down those questions, email them to us. We can help you out. But we also just want to welcome you to the university. Welcome to the Polk family. But we also want to thank you for making McNeese your first choice. Thank you for continuing your education with us. We hope you make lifelong friends and you enjoy your time here. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into this fast facts. Like I said, if you have any questions, write them down. Step number one, you want to gather all the 2018 tax documents for both you and your parents. You're thinking, Nikki, what do these tax documents look like? I've never touched tax documents. Well, you're going to need the 2018 tax returns and you're going to need the 2018 W-2s. If you don't know what that looks like, mom and dad can help you out, but if not, Google can help you out as well.
All right, for step two, you're going to want to start that 2021 application. We've provided a link right here for you. It takes you right to that website. And what you're going to need when you get to this website is an FSA ID for you and your parent. If you don't already have those, you'll set those up here. You'll need access to an email and a mobile number. So for step number three, you're going to select the correct application year, and you're going to ask, which application do I fill out? There's two on this website. If you're attending in fall 2020 as your first semester, you're going to want to fill out the 2021 application. This is where you use that 2018 tax info. If you're starting in the summer, you're filling out two applications. You're filling out that 1920. That's where you use 2017's tax information. And then you'll also fill out the 2021 with 2018 tax information. We're going to move on to step four with Nikki.
Let's go back one. Oh, let's go forward one. All right, step number four. Department of Ed wants to know all about you. You're going to put in your name. You're going to put in your address, all that good stuff. This is all about you, the student. But also they're going to know, what are you going to be doing the next 4 years? Are you going to be staying on campus here with us? Are you going to be living off campus? Are you going to be staying with mom and dad? They're also going to ask you for a school code. This is for McNeese actually receives that FAFSA from the Department of Ed. Our code is here on the screen. It's 002017. 002017, pretty super code to remember. Yeah, so you just want to put in all your information, tell us where you're staying. Step number five, this is where it gets to the nitty-gritty, very sensitive part of the application. This is the part you do not want to mess up, because this is where you can get into different verification groups and it can turn into a long, lengthy process. First steps first, you're going to put in the parent tax information. This is all your parents' information. So you want to get their tax return and their W-2, and you're basically going to match line one to box one, this to that. So first part is going to be your parents' information. This is where you're going to want to pay attention to where it switches to your tax information. If you didn't work, you don't have W-2s or a tax return, there shouldn't be much, or if anything, for you to put at all. Like I said, it's going to be asking the same thing it's going to be asking for your parents, but it's going to be for you. So this is where you're going to want to make sure that you see when those tabs switch, that you're actually filling these questions out as yourself.
All right, for step six, this is almost as important as step five. This is your last chance to review everything you've put in on every screen before. You want to review and review again. Do not just scroll through and click submit, because if you do that and you've messed something up, we're going to have to ask for you to fill out a lot of documents, and that just elongates the process even more than it already is. So go through. If you see that you've made a mistake, you can actually edit. There'll be edit buttons in the right-hand corner of each little box, and you'll be able to go back and fix that before you submit your documents. And so step six is kind of like step seven. You're gonna submit and sign. What you'll need is those electronic signatures, that FSA ID that you set up in the beginning. That's what you're gonna use here. If you're unable to do the digital signature, you can actually print out the form and email it to us at studentcentral@mcneese.edu if for some reason you can't access that FSA ID.
All right, let's go back one. Yeah, step eight. So what happens now, Nikki? I submitted my FAFSA last night. How much money am I gonna get? Am I eligible for grants? What are loans? This, that, this, or the other? Hey, sometimes it takes up to 2 weeks for us to actually get that from the Department of Ed. So you're going to know whenever we get that, because we're going to send you an email. We'll probably send you several emails over the process of it, asking for required documents. Sometimes you may turn in a document and we need one that follows that. So it's one of those processes that you kind of have to be patient with, that you're going to get that email from us. There's going to be a link to the form that you'll need to fill out, the documents that you may need to return. You can always send that to studentcentral@mcneese.edu or financialaid@mcneese.edu, along with any questions you may have. But like I said, it goes to the Department of Ed first, and then it goes to us, and then we'll email you and let you know something. All right, now we're going to jump into the common question and misconceptions. Like I've said before, you have questions, write them down, send us an email. We'll get right back to you as soon as we can. Yeah, so just write down any questions that we don't cover. All right, Nikki, why do I have to use the 2018 taxes? Clean, cut, and dry. It's because of the Department of Ed. Department of Ed changed their regulations or guidelines towards where we're going to be going 2 years back every financial aid year. So for the 2021 FAFSA, we're going to go to 2018. If you're attending in the summer and you need to fill out that 1920 FAFSA, you're actually going to be doing the 2017 taxes, so on and so forth. So this October, whenever the 21-22 FAFSA opens up, we're using the 2019 taxes that we just filed.
All right, and another question we get a lot is, do I really have to complete this application? I'm not interested in student loans. I want scholarships and TOPS only. The answer is yes. You still need to fill this out, especially if you're a Louisiana resident eligible for TOPS. This is how the state of Louisiana knows to send the money for your TOPS award to us, for you to be able to have your fees paid for. So if you want scholarships, you don't necessarily have to fill out FAFSA. For us at our school, we don't require that. We have a whole different scholarship application. But if you're a Louisiana resident or you want work study, you really do need to fill out the FAFSA. And then another one we get is, can I share my FSA ID with my parents? And the answer is no, you can't share it. It is a digital, legally binding signature for you. So you wouldn't share your signature with your paper signature with anybody else. You don't want to share this digital signature with someone else as well.
I'll go back, hold on 1 second.
There you go.
I only have to fill out a FAFSA form once. No, you have to fill it out every year if you want aid. Our aid year runs from fall, spring, and summer. So it'll be fall 20, spring 21, and if you're interested, summer 21. So you'll be doing that FAFSA again every October for the next aid year. You don't have to do it right in October, but that is when it does open up, especially if you're interested in those work study jobs. Those are on a first come, first served basis. I know Delaney is about to touch on that. So yes, you do have to fill it out every single time. Nikki, I support myself, so I don't have to include my parents on my FAFSA. It's not necessarily true, because FAFSA indicates an independent student that is 24, military, married, or has a child. So if one of those are true, you're more than likely an independent student, but there are some circumstances where that would make you a dependent student. But if you have a special circumstance like that, go ahead and shoot us an email. There are a series of questions on that FAFSA that will kind of help you determine your dependency status. But even if you live on your own, you work on your own, mom and dad don't help you with bills, you pay your own car insurance, all that good stuff, you may still be a dependent student. Like I said, dependency kind of is a tough, sticky situation as well. If you have any questions, just as far as you have a special circumstance as well, go ahead and send us an email and kind of explain your situation, and we can help you out as best as we can and tell you what we would need to get you to in that right status.
All right, one of the questions I hear a lot too is, Delaney, my parents make too much money, I'm not even going to qualify for aid. That's not necessarily true. The type of aid you qualify for will vary depending on income, but there's really no income cutoff for things such as unsubsidized loans, scholarships, those types of things. So go ahead and fill out that form. Even if you feel like your parents make too much money, you're probably still eligible for some type of aid if you need it. And another one is, what kind of aid am I eligible for? What kind of awards am I going to get? And it's kind of like that other question. It's going to vary based on the type of student you are, how much money you made, your parents made, your test scores, those types of things. So those subsidized loans and grants are usually reserved for low-income students. And then unsubsidized loans are usually offered to anybody, and then scholarships kind of depend on your test scores and GPA.
All right, so Nikki, what's the difference between direct sub loans and direct unsub loans? Well, the clean cut and dry way to say it is sub loans. Those are going to be for people with financial aid needs, so those low income families. And though that kind of loan is taken care of, the interest is taken care of by the federal government all the way while you study until 6 months after you graduate. Now, those unsub loans, whether you have a financial aid need or not, you know, your parents help you with school, you're still eligible for those unsub loans, but the interest accrues as you study. So even while you're studying here at McNeese, it's going to accrue, and the government does not pay on that interest. But anybody is eligible for that unsub loan, and direct sub loan is strictly for those who are low income. So why does the FAFSA matter? If you take a look at this chart, let me get my little drawn doodle thing out. This is pretty much what tuition cost with 15 hours. Excuse my drawing, I'm not an artist. This is what tuition covers. This is what tuition cost right here. So if you're looking for tops, this is pretty much what you'd be getting. Even the lower tops right here, tops covers just the tuition. Okay, so you can go ahead and X that out if you're eligible for tops. If not, this is what you're looking for tuition. So of course with tuition, there is also fees. This is what you know for sure you will be having to pay when you come to school. And this is, keep in mind, this is for 15 credit hours. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. This chart should be available to you in this PowerPoint. If not, you can for sure find it on mcneese.edu. If you're staying on campus, this is kind of what we're looking at as far as room and board goes. Books are an estimate. So you can add all this stuff up here, put it in here. And then once you fill out that FAFSA, you see what kind of scholarships you're eligible for. If you've been awarded a scholarship, because scholarships aren't guaranteed. If you're eligible for those direct loans, whether you decide to accept or decline them, you can put all those numbers in here. And then you're going to want to add this, well, subtract this stuff down here. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do, but I'm not going to spend too much time on there because it is just a tool. So when you email and say, hey, Nikki, I want to know how much exactly I'm going to be paying out of pocket to go to school, that's really rough for us to do because we don't know what dorm you're going to be staying in. We don't know, you know, all the factors, how much you're going to be spending on food and all that good stuff. So this is just a good little estimate chart for you to use. But besides that, I think we have our resources on the next page. And Delaney will go over that with you.
All right, so we've kind of come to the end of our presentation. We thank you for joining in with us. To wrap it up, we are going to go through some helpful resources for you. These are things that will help you out if you have some questions, if you're still having a little trouble understanding what types of aid we can give you. So this first link is the types of financial aid. This brings you to the Department of Ed website, kind of explaining different qualification factors for different types of aid. This next page is going to be the McNeese financial aid link. And so when you come to this website, there are all kinds of different resources here, but mainly you'll be able to find the link for forms. If we ask you for any additional documentation after you've submitted your FAFSA, this is where you can find those forms. And then if you have any more questions, I know if you jotted anything down, you're going to want to get to us and get those answers. We have our Student Central email at mcneese.edu. Nikki and I are working on emails together every day right now. So one of us will be able to help you out. And then if you still need some more help, you can call us at Student Central. Our number's right there. And once you get those documents done, if you don't feel like emailing them, you can always fax, and our fax number is on this page as well. Again, thank you for joining us. We can't wait to see you in the fall. Let us know if you have any questions at all. And have a great day. Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.